We want to know what is the lesson we can learn on the 12 o'clock line of Capricorn. So I'm going to give you a couple of minutes to think about this, and please use your list of positives and negatives of Capricorn. Write down your thoughts on your worksheet, then I'll give you my interpretation. Okay, we're looking at the lessons of this 12 o'clock line of Capricorn and what we can learn from Odysseus' experiences during at the end of the Trojan War. So we're looking at the experiences of Odysseus, and maybe you can raise your hand and tell me what lessons you can learn or are learning as you just think about the negatives and the positives. Pride was something that we perhaps think about ourselves. Maybe we think we're superior because we have a superior religion, or we know more than the next person, which of course is ridiculous. I think you've all written down many things that are applicable to yourselves, and I want to stay within the time framework, but you had your hand up. Third row, right there.
The one thing that really hit me at the end of the clip was he proclaimed himself victorious, and he was the one that did it. And then Poseidon came along and said, you're going to be punished. You're not even going to make it home because you were not who did it. I was the one who was recruited, and so the glory should go to me, not just to have the glory for yourself. So he proclaimed that he wouldn't make it home. And what I did is I picked out positives actually in the lesson, because Odysseus has a very strong will to succeed, and he said he defied Poseidon. He says, "No, I shall make it." So that was one point, and then there's many other points in there where just being in the course itself was, an example of his hard work and patient pursuit of his goal, and just had many things that had a very strong desire to succeed, because he thought he would decide to make it home.
Right. So we learned it takes initiative, sustained willpower, and drive to overcome obstacles and to attain success. I have found in my life, in all the years of my life, that anything I ever achieved, anything I was ever successful in, anything that I ever did that took enormous intensity and will against all odds of all people saying, no, you can't do it. And I can remember making decisions in my life that I had to make after the ascension of my husband and messenger, Mark Prophet. And I had to make those decisions and sink or swim on the outcome. So anything that is worth doing well, and is worth pouring a tremendous amount of energy into. So power without love and wisdom becomes tyranny, and that's the key. If we get tyrannical, then that threefold flame breaks down. So the 12 o'clock line signifies the beginning of a cycle, the thrust of a new venture. For Odysseus, the new venture is his going off to war, and then his determined thrust to return home. What does the return home represent? It represents his soul's return to God and to his twin flame. It also represents his return to wholeness and to his starting point. All new ventures call for sustained willpower and drive. Odysseus has to summon his inner strength, courage, and determination to accept the heroic call to fight at Troy. The oracle tells him that if he answers that call, he will not return for 20 years, and he will meet severe challenges. He hesitates. He has a comfortable lifestyle. He has a good job, the ruler of a kingdom. The people who work for him like him. Why should he rock the boat? But he finally accepts the challenge. Think about times in your life when you did that, where you could have been comfortably at home, but you went out for a cause, for something you had to do. You knew you were born to do it. You knew you had to do it. You're educated to do it, or maybe you're not. But you're accepting the challenge because ultimately, in the final analysis, you know you were born for such and such mission. That's what the 12 o'clock line is all about. Remember, these adventures are symbols of an inner drama. The challenge is not only to leave a comfortable lifestyle to take on something new, it's the challenge to embark on an internal spiritual adventure. And it really means internal. It means going within to your etheric body and clearing it, going into your mental body and clearing it, going into the desire body and clearing it, until finally when you come to the physical plane, you are an expert at what you have determined to do as your most important gift or manifestation to society that you will leave as a legacy. His decision to leave home is symbolic of the courage and determination it takes for each of us to embark upon the spiritual quest that will bring us home to God. Capricorn is known as a cardinal sign. Cardinal signs initiate action. So those of you who are under the sign of Capricorn, that is what you do. You make things happen, and you are the forerunners of those things that you make happen. Capricorn is a cardinal earth sign, so it initiates action in the most concrete manner. Right down at the level of the concrete, that's where you work, that's where you have your victory. It's not some ethereal thing. It's the here, the now, it's this building, it's what we can see and feel and touch and say, I can be a prime mover in society. I can embody the Capricorn flame. Our Capricorn tests will require just that, a sustained drive. If you're going to have a drive, make sure it's sustained. If it's not sustained, don't begin. Go somewhere, take a course, learn how to do something well from beginning to end, and then make it happen. There's nothing worse than coming to the conclusion of a lifetime. You're 75, you're 85, you're 95, you're in embodiment. And you've wasted away the hours, the weeks, the months, the years. Life was too easy for you. So you come to that place, what do? Now you're 101 years old. What have you done for the world to make it better? If you're a Capricorn, I'll wager you've done a lot. But if you are a real true Capricorn, you could do a lot more. If you don't, fritter away your energy. People who have the sun in Capricorn or who have prominent Capricorn placings tend to have a sustained drive to overcome obstacles and achieve success, even if it takes a long time. They stick with it and stick with it. Our Capricorn tests will require just that sustained drive, and the spiritual path, like the voyage of Odysseus, will be marked by challenges. Expect them. Expect them. Get ready for them. It's like playing baseball or football. Get ready for the ball. It's coming your way. Some people never enter the 12 o'clock line with enough of a thrust of power to make it all the way home. And this is the saddest thing that I can tell you. That you have the teaching, you have the path, you have the desire, you want to make it all the way home, but somehow you fritter away your time, you go here, you go that, you start a project, you don't finish a project. A lot of you don't do that, but a few of you do. And it's really deadly, because we have 70 and maybe some more as science moves on and gives us more years. But we have a lot to do. And maybe just doing the violet flame every day is not going to be quite enough. Maybe we have to go out and work with people and help people and resolve our attitudes toward people and to ourselves. So if you succumb to the Capricornian tendency to become pessimistic and fearful, and therefore you procrastinate or you begin half-heartedly, turn yourself around. Turn yourself around 3 or 4 times and start over. Sometimes you may even be overcome by inertia because you fear what the new venture will bring. Let me give you an example. In her book Anatomy of the Spirit, Carolyn Mace tells the story of Graham Greene, one of the foremost British novelists of this century who converted to Roman Catholicism. Many of his works depict the moral and spiritual struggles within individuals. Carolyn Mace writes, Graham Greene once waited 2.5 years for a 15-minute appointment with a Catholic mystic, Padre Pio, who resided in a monastery in Italy. Padre Pio had earned an extraordinary reputation as a living saint. On the day Greene was scheduled to meet with the mystic, Greene first attended a mass at which Padre Pio officiated. Their appointment was scheduled to begin after the mass. Instead, Greene left the church, headed for the airport, and flew directly back to London. When asked why he broke the appointment, Greene commented, "I was not ready for the manner in which that man could change my life." Think about that, everyone. Think about Padre Pio, the saint, that you might have had the opportunity to see yourself. That's pretty bad. Pretty bad. Sometimes you ought to take your medicine, see what it does for you, instead of catching the next plane. Unlike this example, Odysseus does decide to plunge into the battle. He has enough willpower to start and to make it all the way home. That's the key. Start at the 12 o'clock line, get as far as the 6, garner a new thrust from the 6 to the 12, and make it all the way home. And that all the way home can be your ascension in the light, as long as you do your violet flame decrees and give service to God and man. Capricorn also governs duty and obligation and indicates where we have a duty or responsibility. That's the great divine director. That's what he's all about. He expects us to be responsible for everything that happens on the 12 o'clock line, if we're Capricornians or if we're not. When we're on that line, we're expected to be on call and on duty. The fact that Odysseus is compelled to join the battle on the 12 o'clock line shows that he has a duty to fulfill, and he knows it. He probably knows it from past lives. Another Capricorn element that comes into play in this episode of the Trojan War is power. The 12 o'clock line is all about power, the use of power in the social and political context. This includes the use of power in families, corporations, organizations, nations, etc. The challenge on the 12 o'clock line is, do I use power to achieve the correct goal? Do I use power with blind ambition to crush people, or am I sensitive to others? That's it. That's the great power of the great divine director that we, his students, must learn. How to give it to others lovingly and with enlightenment. We must bring to the Capricornian love and enlightenment so that he can use that power and not use it ruthlessly. How does Odysseus use his power? In typical Capricornian fashion, he uses the Trojan War as an opportunity to establish his status and reputation. He is a practical and good leader. Those are Capricorn virtues. And he uses his power wisely to come up with effective strategies to win the war. But he doesn't pass all his Capricorn tests. At the end of the war, he and the Greeks abused their power by sacking the city and butchering the Trojans. They just couldn't resist. Their goal was to liberate Helen and perhaps punish the Trojans, but not to totally destroy Troy. As a result of their abuse of power, the gods require a penance, which unfolds throughout this drama. This abuse of power by the warriors is a very masculine expression. Odysseus has a well-developed masculine side, but it is not balanced by his feminine nature. As you will see, many of his later tests involve women. Each of these women reflects a part of himself that he must recognize and deal with. So now let's take out our worksheets and answer questions 1 to 6. Really concentrate on this. I'm going to make a call for everyone. Mighty I am presence and Holy Christ self of each one gathered here. We enter into the secret chamber of the heart. We call to you our beloved teacher, our beloved mentor. Our beloved Holy Christ Self, come into our hearts now, guide us, give us the answers, open the doors, let us be one with our mighty I Am Presence, clear the way, let violet flame ribbons of light descend to purify and raise us up to that place of the violet transmuting flame, the seat of the soul chakra. By the living flame of cosmic freedom, we seal each one. We accept it done this hour in the name of the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit, and the Divine Mother. How do I embody the essence of God's power in my life? The essence. The essence means the heart of something. The heart of a flower and its fragrance. The essence. It also comes from the word essential. How do I embody the essentialness of God's power in my life? So when we think of the whole wide world, there's probably only a few percentage that we would want to take with us as we walk the valleys and the nations and so forth. So the essence of God's power in our life, we have to know what it is, know that we want it. We want it with a passion. Everything about this path, as far as I'm concerned, is passionate. There's nothing that's lukewarm. There's nothing that is distracting. The passion of God must be in us. We can't be lukewarm. We can't be lukewarm disciples. So it's the essence of God we want, and that power in our lives. What then are my strong points on the 12 o'clock line? How can I use them constructively in my daily life? I think of the 12 o'clock line as a foundation of geometry. It's the place where we're born on the cosmic clock. We start our life there. And it is a blueprint for our life. We come with a certain astrology. We're born with it. We're going to live with it. So that 12 o'clock line is extremely important. Now, I'm not talking about the 12 o'clock line. I'm talking of the 12 o'clock line rather than the astrological sign here. So we start at the 12 o'clock line and we come around, we wind up at the 3 o'clock line, and we're in the physical quadrant. So we have those first 9 months. So the strong points on the 12 o'clock line are with you when your mother gives birth to you. How can I use them constructively in my daily life? Mothers and fathers as well, we can bring children to great heights of inner revelation if we also will enter into the secret chamber of the heart and connect with that secret chamber even while we are allowing the Capricorn clock to tick off for us. What is my soul's passion? How do I translate this to my soul's mission? The passion is when you are on fire. It's like God gives you a gift of fire. It's a very intense fire. This passion really commences at the base of the spine chakra. Now, if we need them, I don't mind drawing circles and putting things on a blackboard if anybody calls for it. But anyway, the passion begins at the foundation of life, at the base of the spine, whereas I was talking to you about the crown at the 12 o'clock line. So our soul's passion is there, sealed in those 4 petals in that base of the spine. That passion must rise. It must go through all of the chakras. It goes to the seat of the soul chakra. It goes to the solar plexus, the heart chakra. It goes to the 16-petal throat chakra, the crown chakra, and the third eye. Now, if as children we receive the proper food, the nourishment, the balance in life, we are truly balanced, and we have parents of a higher state of consciousness, this passion will remain with us. It will rise gently as we grow as children, as our children grow, and that passion will live with them forever because we will set the example to them of our passion. So the soul passion is really how the soul so intensifies herself because she has such a passion for God, for life, for victory, for moving beyond. That passion is there. So if we nurture the child with such an intense love for life and what the talents of that child are, we're going to send that soul into the world, and that soul is going to make it. That soul will make it, undoubtedly. So the base of the spine to the crown chakra, very important for us to go back to that periodically. Where am I on my soul's journey? Where is Odysseus? We don't really know yet, but he's definitely somewhere. Am I willing to keep a journal so that from this day forward I will see what I have and have not accomplished of my mission? This is very important because when we get down and out and feel bad about ourselves and we haven't resolved our psychology, if we haven't created a journal, and even if we only write a few sentences in it each day, we remind ourselves that we've accomplished a lot. We've accomplished all kinds of things that we haven't even remembered that we've done. We've done very caring things for sweet and wonderful people or for not so nice people. We have self-effaced ourselves. We're on our journey. And if we keep those notes, we will realize that actually we've done a great deal for ourselves and for God, and we have to give ourselves a good talking to and get moving. What are my stumbling blocks on the 12 o'clock line? How do I feel when I get stuck? I think I went over that pretty much entirely of the criticism, condemnation, judgment, criticism, self-condemnation, judgment. How do I feel when I get stuck? I feel like I have to get out of being stuck is what we have to do. We have already read the negative and positive qualities. Do you want to do anything more with those?
Nope, not right now.
I just want to remind you that any one of those positive or negative traits in Capricorn can be the most big thing in your life. It can eclipse the whole horizon of your world. And especially if it's a negative situation, you need to tackle that very quickly. You know, sometimes we just don't want to say die. We want to have our way, we want to be stubborn, we want to be this, we want to be that, we want to do everything but do what God is really telling us to do. So please don't let your human consciousness and your human ego take you over, because you're going to lose time. And I want to tell you something about time. Time is grains of sand in the hourglass, and everybody comes to their conclusion. And you must not lose time. You must use it very, very wisely. You will never know what great feat, what final and ultimate initiation will bring you to the apex of your God reality. You've seen people, how many people have we seen in our lives? I've seen like tens of thousands of people that I have brushed and made contact with who have died uselessly. They have very little to show for it. They will eat, drink, and be merry. They die, they come back again. God only knows how many times they reincarnate till God gives up on them and lets them go through the second death. How many people that you know are out there that never really did anything intense about changing their life, getting closer to God? What about when you look at the faces of people and you see not a bit of light, nothing? What are they doing? It's really heartbreaking. So the stumbling blocks or the 12 o'clock line is that we're stubborn. That's what's the matter with us. We just get stubborn. How long are we going to be stubborn? Get stubborn, we stub our toe. What are we going to do? You know, we have to go on and fulfill the path that God created for us, because it's the right path. It's the one true path. So how do I feel when I get stuck? I feel that I have to get unstuck, and I'm going to do it right now, because I'm not going to wait any longer, because Moria is too wonderful, too loving, too great a master for me to fool around. If he says that he wants me to do something, I'm going to do it now, and I'm not going to wait till tomorrow, the next day, by being a spoiled brat and just playing with the master. So we have to think about these things, how wise and wonderful our masters are, and how we quickly want to respond to them. What am I willing to give up to be victorious on the 12 o'clock line? What will I replace it with? Well, we're certainly going to take that criticism, condemnation, and judgment and black magic, and we're going to do our violet flame decrees to get rid of it, and we're going to undo the patterns of our consciousness that we find all over the world. Probably the 12 o'clock line is the worst of lines when you look at the negative traits of it, because the 12 o'clock line affects everyone on the planet. You can hardly meet someone, and if you do meet them, they'll be a saint. You can hardly meet someone who never criticizes a living soul. You know that person? That person is a saint. Because the rest of the world criticizes everybody. They criticize each other, they criticize the church, they criticize politics, they criticize the president, they criticize their neighbor. This is really bad. This is black magic. No doubt about it. This is what black magic is all about. It's not some voodoo ceremony down at the beach. It's not some voodoo ceremony down in Brazil somewhere or in the Caribbean or somewhere. No, it's right here. Black magic is right here inside of our temple because we let it in. Black magic is thinking ill of your neighbor. So here's the next one. I affirm before God that I will have my victory of love on the 12 o'clock line. I affirm before God that I will have my victory of love on the 12 o'clock line. And under that, you see the sheet, in the name of my mighty I am presence and holy Christ self, I. And that I is going to be you talking to yourself and talking in group discussion. Discuss with the members of your group what you perceive to be the keys for overcoming the Capricorn challenges, especially criticism, condemnation, and judgment, and black magic. So would you like to go into your groups?